I was a former employee of the Lily Pad Sane Center here in Albany, which was very proud to be enacted because of people like Christopher Cohelus. And when I was asked to speak on his behalf for his campaign kickoff, I certainly couldn't have been happier to say yes. I met Chris well over a decade ago. He and I both were cuter and younger back then. But I have to tell you that I have known very few people in my life that were harder workers and who were more dedicated to a cause than Christopher Cohelus. As a public servant with the Dougherty County Judicial Circuit, he led the charge for children and their families who were some of our most vulnerable in our community. And he exhibited a work ethic that I've never seen before. And it was really a pleasure to walk into a courthouse with someone who would have a 4-inch binder with page protectors and a PowerPoint, who was more prepared than anyone I'd ever seen to lead the charge for a fight for a child who'd been victimized, or for an adult who'd been victimized. And that was no easy feat, because these cases that he and I worked on together were very complex, and he worked with people who spoke in their own jargons, and it was the medical community, it was the social work community, the law enforcement community, the DFACS community, as well as the advocacy community. And we all had our own languages, and frequently we all look at each other like we're speaking Greek. And he was somehow able to translate all of that and to work through all of those agencies and all of that jargon and pull it all together and explain to 12 people all of the intricacies of all of that expertise and get justice. And that's not an easy feat. And by the time he was done, we had a 100% conviction rate on those cases. Now, how does that come together for someone who's running for the Dougherty County Commission chair? Well, I'll tell you. If he can pull all of those working pieces together and all of those agencies together and all of those personalities together and present that information and think through all of those processes to come together with the best possible results at the end and put in those hundreds of hours, I can assure you, he is your best possible candidate for this position. Public service is certainly his specialty. He worked well beyond the hours he was paid. And as a founding member of the Lily Pad Sane Center, he was not just a figurehead. This gentleman not only raised funds for our center on nights and weekends, he was offering legal advice and information on things that we needed to know. He was there moving furniture in the rain. He was there in the middle of the night with what they called a pizza party for the guys, stripping floors in the new building. He put a lot of sweat equity into that agency and into the other civic-minded things he was involved with in this community. He raises a family here in this community. He's very interested in what happens to the people that he loves in Dougherty County's community. And he's not afraid to roll up his sleeves and do it. So I was really honored to be able to speak on his behalf today. And I'm obviously preaching to the choir because you guys came out in the rain and the cold today to kick off his campaign. Thank you all so much for being here. And please make sure that not only do you pull the lever on the vote day, but you get your neighbors out and your family out. Make sure you get out and vote for Chris Cohelus. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Greg Edwards, and I'm very happy to support Chris Cohelus in his effort to become chairman of the Dougherty County Commission. And I think there are 4 things that I want to submit to you all that will make him the best choice for this particular job. Number 1, I think his experience and training as a lawyer has prepared him well for the job. His work within the community has prepared him well for the job. And I think that those things coalesce. Chris is committed to this community. When we work together as colleagues in the district attorney's office, he was, as already been talked about, just the hardest working man that I've seen around. And I think that he will do the same thing for our community. He's completely committed to our community. His wife and his boys, they are all here and they are part of our community, and I think he's fully embraced Albany and Dougherty County. So I think, number one, his training and experience as a lawyer is going to be one thing that will help him in service to the community as the Dougherty County Commission Chair. The other thing is, within that past that he has, he will be good for public safety. And safety and other things are part of what we need to further develop within this community. The second thing is his experience within the Dougherty County system as a department manager will serve him well. While he has not served on the board, he has worked under the board, and certainly he has some insights on the needs within the departments that will serve him well once he's the commission chairman. Also, his service is part of all of that. And the thing is, as his experience as a law partner brings about this notion that you can work with a lot of different people that have the same common interests. And his experience as a law partner is vital to his service, again, as the Dougherty County Commission Chairman. The other thing is business experience. Being a law partner and working within this business community is vital. Dougherty County needs businesses. We need growth. And I think that Chris will be the person that can help bring that about. Working as a businessman, because what we never teach in law school is the business of being a lawyer. And that's a vital aspect of growth in our community. One of the things that I would hope that can be accomplished is that we can get some businesses here that will help with some of the issues that we have, including making sure that people that come to these new businesses will hire people that live in Dougherty County, and will hire people that have a bit of a criminal record. Some of the things that we need to get our community back on track. The best thing for public safety is making sure that people that are returned back from the criminal justice systems have different opportunities, and that is something that I think Chris can bring to the table. And the other thing is energy. That's the fourth thing. I think that's the best thing about Chris. You've heard already about his compassion, his dedication, his energy. Not only do we need to lay the table out for businesses to come, we need to go get them. And I think Chris will go get them. So without further ado, I want to present Chris as a candidate for...
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Amy. I look around the crowd here, and I'm honestly and truly humbled by the show of support that I'm seeing, and that I see folks that I've had different experiences with, and from completely different walks of life. Folks that I work with in the DA's office with, business people, law partners. People from all across Albany, and I think that is important. I think it's important to this race, and I think it represents a community understanding that we as a community can only make Albany better if we elect people who are true leaders, who possess the energy, the creativity, and the dedication to get the job done. And I think that this group of people embodied right here, I think that represents that. I also think it's important that it is as cold as it is, and all of y'all chose to come out here and be with me, and I thank you for that. And I'm going to keep my comments brief, but I do want to mention a few things. I've been asked why I ran for, or I decided to run for Dougherty County Commission Chairman, and my answer is this, and it's simple. It is, I felt compelled to do it. I felt like there was a need. I am a firm believer in that leaders take action, and that leaders are supposed to lead. I felt compelled to take this step and to do it. The same way that I felt compelled to leave a successful law practice in Atlanta and come down to Dougherty County and take a job as a prosecutor, because I felt like it was the right thing to do. I felt compelled to build a family here. I felt compelled to become part of the community here, and I've been welcomed and embraced by this community, and I thank you for it. And I thank y'all for helping me serve you, both as a chief assistant, district attorney, and also as a private business owner. I've been welcomed both by the governmental community and the private business community, and I thank you for it. But I felt compelled to do something because I think now more than ever, in the wake of the financial crisis that America is recovering from, the communities look for and are asking for people who will shoot it straight. Albany has a lot of things that we can brag about, and we need folks and leaders to brag about the good things that we have. But we also need to have leaders who have the discernment and the ability and the intelligence to truly focus on the areas of improvement, the areas that we need to improve on. And in the wake of the financial crisis, as the economic faucet starts to get turned on, we're going to see communities around us that are going to get creative. You're going to see folks employing and governments employing different strategies to try and attract business. And unless we as a people, as a community, decide that we're going to employ and set out to work leaders who are